Genghis Khan was a legendary conqueror and one of the most influential figures in world history. Born in the 12th century in the rugged heartland of Mongolia, Genghis Khan rose to power and expanded his empire far beyond its original borders. He led his armies across vast stretches of Asia, from China to Central Asia to Eastern Europe. He was a skilled warrior, strategist, and diplomat, known for his tactical genius and his ability to unite disparate nomadic tribes under his banner. But who was Genghis Khan, really? In this video, we'll explore his life, legacy, and impact on the world. Genghis Khan was born in 1162 with the name Temujin on the banks of the Onan River, near the present-day border between Mongolia and Russia. He grew up in a world of constant tribal conflict, and witnessed firsthand the often brutal realities of life on the steppe. When he was just 9 years old, his father was poisoned by rival tribesmen, leaving Temujin and his family to fend for themselves. Despite these challenges, Temujin would eventually rise up to become one of the greatest conquerors in history. He learned important leadership skills and survival tactics from his mother, Holan, and from the tribesmen who helped him along the way. His early experiences would shape his worldview and later actions, and provide the foundation for the Mongol Empire. As a young man, Temujin began building a reputation as a skilled warrior and leader. He established alliances with other tribes and gradually built up his own following, eventually emerging as the dominant leader in the region. In 1206, he was officially named Genghis Khan, or Universal Ruler, by a council of tribal leaders. This marked the beginning of the Mongol Empire, and Genghis Khan immediately set his sights on expanding its borders. He led his armies on a series of devastating conquests across Asia, from China to Central Asia to Eastern Europe. He was renowned for his tactical brilliance and ruthlessness on the battlefield, and his empire quickly became one of the largest in world history. Genghis Khan's legacy is complex and multifaceted. On one hand, he is often reviled for the brutal tactics he used to conquer and subjugate other peoples. The Mongol Empire was built on the backs of countless enslaved peoples, and the human toll of Genghis Khan's conquests cannot be overstated. On the other hand, his reign laid the groundwork for many of the cultural and commercial exchanges that still take place between Asia and Europe today. He created a vast network of roads, bridges, and trade routes that facilitated contact between different peoples and cultures. He also supported the arts and scholarship, and many of the great works of Mongolian literature and poetry were produced during his reign. Genghis Khan's impact on the world is undeniable, and his legacy will continue to be debated and studied for many years to come. Genghis Khan was born into a family of tribal leaders on the harsh Mongolian steppe in 1162. As a child, he would have lived a nomadic lifestyle, moving with his family and their herds across the vast, treeless expanse of grasslands. This environment was both unforgiving and egalitarian, with no fixed settlement and no permanent structures. It taught Genghis Khan the skills he would later need as a leader, such as adaptability, resourcefulness, and a deep understanding of the natural world. This childhood on the steppe would provide him with valuable experience in horsemanship, hunting, and warfare, and would help shape his identity as a warrior and a leader. Despite his upbringing, Genghis Khan's early life was not without struggle. When he was just 9 years old, his father was poisoned by rival tribesmen, leaving Temujin and his family to fend for themselves. They were forced to flee their tribe and became isolated and vulnerable, making them easy targets for other tribes. His mother, Holan, emerged as a strong and resourceful figure during this time, guiding and protecting her children through perilous situations. Genghis Khan learned important lessons from his mother's resilience, and her influence would stay with him throughout his life. These early struggles would give Genghis Khan the drive and determination to succeed as a leader, and make him fiercely protective of his own family and followers. Growing up on the Mongolian steppe, Genghis Khan learned valuable lessons about leadership, diplomacy, and warfare. He saw firsthand how different tribes and cultures interacted with each other, and learned the importance of building alliances and leveraging resources. He also learned how to command the loyalty of his followers, by living among them and sharing their hardships. These experiences would help shape his later strategies as a leader, as he sought to unite the disparate tribes of Central Asia under a single banner. His childhood on the steppe would also instill in him a deep love of the natural world and an appreciation for its power and beauty. Genghis Khan began his rise to power in the early 13th century by forging alliances with other tribes. He gradually built up his own following and became a dominant leader in the region. In 1206, he was officially crowned as the ruler of the Mongol Empire, marking the beginning of his conquests. Genghis Khan believed in meritocracy and chose his followers based on their skills and loyalty, rather than their birth or status. He also sought to build a powerful centralized state, with a well-organized army and a system of laws and governance. Under his rule, the Mongol Empire became one of the largest and most powerful empires in world history, stretching across vast swaths of Asia and Europe. Genghis Khan and his army were renowned for their military tactics and strategy. They were highly mobile and able to traverse vast distances quickly, often catching their enemies off guard. They were skilled at siege warfare and would lay siege to cities for months, sometimes even years, until they surrendered. The Mongol army was also highly disciplined and able to work together efficiently. They were innovative in their use of technology, developing the first rocket launchers and using gunpowder as a weapon. Genghis Khan was a master at playing his enemies off against each other, using diplomacy and alliances to weaken their resolve before launching an attack. He also employed intelligence and surveillance operations, keeping tabs on his enemies' movements and weaknesses. All of these tactics and strategies made it difficult for his enemies to compete with him and contributed to his success as a conqueror. Under Genghis Khan's leadership, the Mongol Empire embarked on a series of conquests and expansions that would eventually make it one of the largest empires in world history. They first took control of China, seizing the Jin dynasty and eventually establishing the Yuan dynasty. They also conquered much of Central Asia, including the Khwarezmian Empire and the cities of Samarkand and Bukhara. The Mongol army then moved into Eastern Europe, sacking Kiev, and later capturing Hungary and Poland. Genghis Khan died in 1227, but his successors continued to expand the empire. They took control of Russia, Persia, and parts of the Middle East, eventually extending the Mongol Empire all the way to the shores of the Mediterranean. Throughout these conquests, Genghis Khan's military tactics and strategies proved indispensable in achieving success. Genghis Khan's impact on history is immense and far-reaching. Under his leadership, the Mongol Empire became one of the largest empires in world history, stretching from China to Eastern Europe. This vast empire connected different cultures and people and created a vibrant network of trade and intellectual exchange. Many Europeans, for example, learned about paper money, gunpowder, and other technological innovations from the Mongols. Genghis Khan also promoted religious tolerance, allowing freedom of worship for all faiths within his empire. He created a legal code that emphasized fairness and justice, and he standardized weights and measures. These advancements had a huge impact on the cultures and societies that were part of the Mongol Empire, and they continue to be felt today. Despite his reputation as a brutal conqueror, Genghis Khan was also a patron of the arts and sciences. During his reign, he supported and encouraged artists, musicians, scholars, and scientists, many of whom produced important works in fields such as astronomy, medicine, and agriculture. He also promoted the spread of writing and literature, commissioning works such as The Secret History of the Mongols, which chronicled the early history of the Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan's empire was characterized by a dynamic cultural exchange, with a mix of religions and cultures interacting and influencing each other. This exchange helped to create a vibrant and diverse society that embraced new ideas and innovations, and fostered cultural, social, and economic growth. Genghis Khan has been depicted in a variety of ways in popular culture, both positive and negative. Some portrayals emphasize his military conquests and brutality, while others highlight his cultural and scientific contributions. In popular imagination, Genghis Khan has become a symbol of strength, power, and resilience. He is often portrayed as a charismatic leader with a fierce determination to succeed. Genghis Khan has also sometimes been associated with negative stereotypes, such as being a barbarous and uncivilized warlord. Despite these varied depictions, the impact of Genghis Khan on history and culture cannot be denied. and his legacy continues to be a topic of debate and discussion in modern times. Genghis Khan was a paramount leader and warrior of the Mongol Empire, who rose to power in the early 13th century. Despite humble beginnings, he created a vast and powerful empire, extending from China to Eastern Europe. He is known for his leadership abilities, military genius, and the cultural and scientific advancements he sponsored. Genghis Khan created a powerful centralized state with a well-organized army and a system of laws and governance. He also supported cultural and scientific advancements, creating a vibrant cultural exchange within his empire. Under his rule, the Mongol Empire became one of the largest empires in world history, with a lasting influence on world affairs. Genghis Khan is an important figure in world history, not only because of his military conquests and the vast empire he created but also because of the cultural and scientific advancements that he sponsored. He is credited with creating a vast network of trade and intellectual exchange that connected different cultures and people, contributing to the growth of ideas and innovations throughout the world. Genghis Khan's impact on world history is also significant because of the many political and cultural changes he brought to the territories he conquered. He created a new model of governance that emphasized rule of law and a fair and just system of government. His empire also helped to facilitate the spread of Christianity and Islam. Finally, Genghis Khan's legacy continues to be felt in the present day, both in the territories he conquered and in the broader impact that the Mongol Empire had on world history. Genghis Khan's legacy is multifaceted and continues to be felt in the present day. He left a lasting impact on world history through his military conquests, cultural and scientific advancements, and advocacy for religious tolerance. His empire served as a conduit for trade and intellectual exchange, connecting different cultures and promoting international commerce. His impact on governance also continues to be important, with his emphasis on rule of law and the creation of a central system of governance that focused on fairness and justice. In addition, Genghis Khan's legacy has had a powerful impact on Mongolian culture, with national pride and identity still tied to his achievements. Finally, Genghis Khan's leadership abilities and his strategies for success continue to be studied by contemporary leaders in business and government. In conclusion, Genghis Khan was one of the most fascinating and impactful figures in world history. His conquests changed the face of Asia and Europe, and his legacy continues to be felt today. His ability to unite disparate tribes and create a powerful empire from scratch was truly remarkable, and his tactical genius on the battlefield was unmatched. However, his reign was not without controversy, and his methods of conquest were often brutal and ruthless. Despite this, his impact on the world cannot be denied. He was a man ahead of his time, who helped pave the way for the modern era of globalization and cultural exchange. Genghis Khan remains a symbol of Mongolian identity, a legendary figure whose legacy will continue to be studied and debated for centuries to come.